Hi, I'm Ron Schiffler, Dean of the College of Business Administration at Georgia Southern University, here with another segment of Business Beat called Statesboro is Growing. With me today is Alan Muldrew, Executive Director of the Downtown Statesboro Development Authority, to tell us about a new business in Statesboro. Alan, is manufacturing still alive in this country?
Well, surprisingly, not only is it alive in this country, it's alive in Statesboro, Georgia.
Tell me more.
Well, our quintessential entrepreneur, Chris Mitchell of Plaid Dot, has gotten in the manufacturing business.
Chris is manufacturing.
He is now a manufacturer in the city of Statesboro.
In Statesboro?
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Where in Statesboro?
Downtown.
Downtown.
Actually, he's got a place off of Main Street that he is now making guitars. Chris Mitchell Guitars, CMG.
Chris Mitchell Guitars. He's making guitars.
He is making from scratch. We're talking about wood put together, planed over, all the instruments put on it, and he's also, not only is he making guitars, he's making amps.
Whoa. We're too fast here. Let's go back to
Yeah,
guitars.
all right,
What made him decide to get into making guitars?
That's a good question. Now, Chris has got a shop here in Statesboro. Most folks are familiar with it. He
sells guitars. He does lessons.
He does lessons. He sells guitar. He sells music equipment to bands. He supplied Georgia Southern with their new instruments. So very involved in our community. Does a lot of gigs. But now this is a guy that sells all kind of guitars, all brands and all price points. And one thing that Chris told me is that as he was getting into selling these things, that he was looking for something American made at a good price point that most of your guitarists can afford. So Chris looked around and couldn't find a guitar made in the United States of America. And Chris, being the entrepreneur that he is, said, I'm going to look into it. So he started researching it. He put a lot of time and effort in studying it. Can a good priced guitar be made in the United States? Most everything that is in his price points and is a comparable product are imports. And there's a lot of imports. A lot of your famous brands that were historically made in the U.S. are now imports. So Chris took the challenge on himself and said, can I make an American-made guitar at a particular price point that's competitive? And he can.
He can. What's the price point?
He's looking around the $699 and up points. So
true market or $699.
Didn't
say
just
$700.
not $700. You don't want to get across the $700. But what he did is he found out. He said, okay, what is the price range for these imports that I want to make? And they're around the $700, $800, $900 range, and they're all coming in, most of them obviously from China. So Chris said, can I make that same guitar in America? Now there is an attachment from a musician to his instrument. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really in that world. You may be, but I've got a daughter, Julia, who's a musician. She's great. You rock, Julia. And she names her guitars, as a lot of people do. So there's
that's plural. You just guitars.
Yeah, I got guitars and amps all over the house.
Oh, I see.
But
you're about to buy another one from
yeah,
Chris. As soon
probably
as he
will
makes
be.
one.
Yeah, maybe we'll work a deal with this show. But there's an attachment to it, and Chris thought, it ought to be an attachment to an American-made product, and that's why he got into it. So he said, look, can I import? Is import always cheaper? No, it's not, and he's proved that it can be done in America.
Well, he does have some competition. There's two guitar makers I'm aware of in Savannah, one of which is Gretsch, the Gretsch Guitar Company. Now, they make guitars for rock stars, so that's probably...
They're a very popular guitar, very good product.
Yep.
Chris is not necessarily going to that market, but at the same time, his product is comparable in quality that they get. So he puts the finest stuff in his guitars, and it's great. I mean, he got on the internet, started tracking down components for his guitar, for his amps, and found them.
So these will be acoustic guitars as opposed to electric guitars?
No, these will be electric guitars.
Electric guitars,
yeah.
Okay. Well, Barbara's got a Taylor, so she may want to get a Mitchell.
Well, there you go. That's it. But the good thing is he's gotten the CNC machine. It's a kind of a router. He puts I've watched him to make it, and hopefully you'll see it on this program. He glues them together. He runs his router. Then he sands it. He puts in all the little components in it. And he's got a beautiful product. It really is a very attractive product.
That's exciting.
And it's made here. Can you believe it? A product made in America that can beat the price of an import of the same quality.
Now you said
Chris.
You're also making amps.
He makes an amp. It's just he just put the two do go together.
Right. Now what does your daughter have?
She's got we've got two amps.
Got two amps.
Yeah, I guess it's
the
kind of
neighbors
like
love you.
Yeah, really. It's kind of like golf clubs. You just got to have the next one more, whatever.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Barbara's got a PV amp. You got You have a Peavey?
See, you're really good at this. I'm not familiar with all these kind of products. I just know they weigh a ton if you have to haul them from gig to gig.
All right, so when can we expect to see this first
Well,
product?
very good. We look forward in about the next couple of months.
Next couple
He's
of
gonna
months.
start.
Takes a
He's
couple
got-
of months to make a guitar.
He does. He's already making them on a small scale. He'll beef it up. He's got a sales force out there that will help him. He goes to trade shows. Actually, he was so successful at his trade show that he had to pull his product off at another one because he couldn't supply the order. So we really believe big things are coming out of Chris Mitchell, Plaid Dot, and Chris Mitchell Guitars and his Devil Cat amplifiers.
We have a name for the amp.
Yeah, Devil Cat amplifiers, and I think you're going to start seeing them all over the U.S. And before you know it, we'll have Chris will be on the front of the next great music magazine. So we're really proud of Chris, and you know, it is what makes America great. And you and I talk about it all the time. Guys that are going out there, they put it on the line. They have a dream, they have a vision, and we fortunately in our country have a system that can let guys like that succeed.
Well, this is exciting news for Statesboro, and hats off to Chris Mitchell. He is an entrepreneur, great ideas. We hope that the Chris Mitchell guitar line will be very successful. It could be the beginning of something huge. What was the name of the amplifier again? Black Cat?
No, Devil Cat.
Devil Cat. Devil Cat amplifiers and Chris Mitchell guitars. Look for them in your favorite store soon. And we want to thank Alan for being here this morning, and thank you for watching, and join us again next time for another edition of Statesboro is Growing.